Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's highest classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 18th March 2022. So first of all, I wish you a very happy Holi for all of you. Okay, so now let us try to see a brief introduction regarding the topics. Now we are going to have our discussion. So first topic it is regarding sanctions route. So you know that ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis going on. So because of this, many countries they imposed sanctions. Okay, so regarding that sanction, there is one editorial which mainly talking about. So this is important from international relations. And next topic it is regarding COVID-19 vaccination for children who are going to school. That is mainly talking about Corbevax. So this is important from your health point of view. And next topic it is regarding ICJ provisional measures on military operations regarding this Russia-Ukraine conflict. So this topic it is important again from international relations. And next topic it is regarding credit to Sri Lanka from India. And this is important from international relations. And next topic it is regarding S-400 missile triumph system. So these are some articles we are going to discuss in detail. And apart from that, we are going to see number of articles which appear in today's newspaper in PDF of today's Hindu. So our quote today it is based on this today's festival, that is Holi. So life is the most colorful festival, and enjoy all the days with full of happiness. Okay. So here actually you know that this festival Holi it is a festival of colors. So in the same way in our life, which mainly contains different colors actually, and our life is also a most colorful festival. So some days we will be having very dark, and some days we will be enjoying happy, and some days we will be moody. So in this way here our life it is a full, okay, full colorful, right? So we can see different colors. In happy we can see happiest moments, we can see like moodiest moments, and sometimes we feel lonely, sometimes we feel alone, right? So we have to enjoy all the days with full of happiness. So once again I wish you a very happy Holi to all of you. So now let us try to see first topic. It is regarding in sanctions route. In sanctions route, what the world must take note of. So this article which is mainly talking about sanctions which are imposed by different countries on Russia on the wake of Russia-Ukraine conflict. So as I said, this is important from international relations, which mainly comes under our GS paper 2, right? So if you are talking about central theme, countering Russia's illegality against Ukraine with measures not ingrained in international law amounts to reprisal. So actually here we need to know about under which sections of WTO so sanctions will be imposed by different countries on this Russia, right? So this is very important article. So if you see, already you know that Russia-Ukraine conflict it is going on, and US and US allied countries they imposed sanctions. For example, US, Canada, European Union, they are mainly imposing some sanctions on this Russia. So if you're talking about one important thing here is most favored nation, EMFN status. So Canada suspended this most favored nation status to Russia. So here we need to understand what is this MFN, most favored nation status. So here this MEFN status, so in this MFN status countries, okay, countries they will be having best trade terms, and they include some low tariffs, and they will be having a few barriers, and highest quantity of imports will be allowed from that country. Okay, so this is about this most favored nation. So this most favored nation is nothing but one country will be allowing best possible terms with another country. For example, they will be having low tariff, import duty, export duty, and there will be very few barriers, and there will be highest quantity of imports as well. So if you're talking about this most favored nation, European Union also announced that it will take similar action, okay, regarding this Russia as well. So Canada became the first nation especially to revoke this Russia's most favored nation. So and European Union also said this thing, so they are also going to revoke this most favored nation against this Russia. So Canada believes that those who do not support these rules-based international orders, they are not going to benefit from Canada. So because of this, Canada revoked this most favored nation status, okay, for this Russia. And even European Union, US, they have formally notified that WTO General Council, okay, in this WTO General Council, so US and as well as European Union, they formally notified that Russia's participation in developed countries coordinating group, so actually it is one of the informal group of WTO, which mainly stands suspended because of violation of international law by Russia. So Russia, which mainly violated international law per se, United Nations Charter and foundational principles of international peace and security, they are mainly violated. So because of this, Russia's participation in this developed countries coordinating group, that is informal group of WTO, they are mainly suspending this Russia. And next one is under this WTO regime, so right of countries to impose state sanctions and even to revoking of this most favored nation status to countries, which mainly regulated by Article 21 of this GATT. GATT, it is nothing but General Agreement on Trade, Tariff and Trade. Right, under this Article 21 of this GATT, so it is a provision which mainly talks about or deals about trade, security linkages in WTO, and even this article which mainly empowers the member country to adopt measures, okay, measures regarding protection of essential security interests, and especially in the times of war and as well as other emergency related issues. So if you're talking about the dispute here, actually you know that Russia's annexation of Crimea that happened in year 2014. So at that time onwards, Russia, which mainly triggered economic sanctions, okay. So from that time onwards, Russia, which is mainly facing the issue of economic sanctions by number of countries, and Russia mainly hit back by imposing transit bans and even restrictions on the movement of Ukrainian goods to Kyrgyzstan as well, okay. So here this is one of the important things. So why these countries which mainly impose sanctions here is because Russia, which is not following this rules based international order, and under this Article 21 of this GATT, it mainly gave the permission, or it mainly gave the power for the member countries to impose sanctions and to deal with this most favored nation status as well, right. So if Russia, which mainly challenges this Canadian suspension of this most favored nation before this WTO dispute resolution or dispute settlement body, then Canada will show that it mainly imposed or revoked this most favored nation under this Article 21 of GATT, okay, because Russia didn't supported or respected this rules based order. And even if it is judicially established that Russia's violation of this Ukraine, it is a breach of international law, that alone will not be sufficient to impose trade sanctions against Russia as per WTO unless countries make the clear case under this Article 21 of GATT. Okay, so if Russia, which is mainly invading this Ukraine and is mainly breaching this international law, it is not at all sufficient, but they need to invoke this Article 21 of this GATT to impose sanctions on this country. Okay, and if you're talking about this Russia-Ukraine war, we undoubtedly we can say that it mainly constitutes an international armed conflict. Okay, and it mainly attested by recent United Nations General Assembly resolution as well. Okay, further it will also leads to territorial integrity violation of this Ukraine as well, right. So in this context here, countries can use this Article 21 of GATT for this trade sanctions on Russia. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding unhealthy precedent. So this article, which is mainly talking about vaccination for the age group of 12 to 14 years, and there is one more article in this text and context regarding this Corbevax as well. So this article, it is important from your health point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So central theme of this article says that India must try and vaccinate all age groups, but after due process. First we have to go for studies regarding whether there are any side effects or adverse effect of vaccination regarding this new age groups or not. So later on we can go for prioritizing of vaccination for all age groups. So this is the theme of this article. So if you see context why it is in news, so government came up with a decision that COVID-19 vaccination program for children between the age group of 12 to 14 years, they are going to vaccine this 12 to 14 years age group of children, and they are going to get this Corbevax. So this Corbevax, it is a protein subunit vaccine, and from March 16 onwards they are going to start this vaccination drive for 12 to 14 years of age group. For this they are using this Corbevax, Actually, it is one of the important and welcome steps that we can see, because we are mainly focusing on extending of coverage of vaccination for school going people, okay, for school going children as well. But this step which mainly raises some cause of concerns, because if we are going for urgent implementation of this COVID-19 vaccination for this 12 to 14 years of age group, okay, so without seeking proper approval from this National Technical Advisory Group. So actually this National Technical Advisory Group, it is a body which mainly expresses mandate, and it will go for studying of various aspects of this vaccine before clearing the clearances, okay, under this national immunization program. But before seeking the approval of this National Technical Advisory Group for this Corbevax, when you are going for vaccinating the children who are between 12 to 14 years, it will be a cause of concern. And never before has this expert body been completely sidestepped to clear a vaccine for immunization program, and by doing so has set an unhealthy precedent. So earlier, whenever we are going for including of any vaccine under this national immunization program, so this clearance will be given from this body. But without proper clearance and proper study regarding this vaccine, whenever we are going for vaccine of this 12 to 14 years of children, we are going to get some unhealthy outcomes. So also the decision to use this new COVID-19 vaccine first on children who are between this 12 to 14 years of age, whenever we are not going for using for its others, it will be also one of the important cause of concern. So till now for vaccination for adults, we went for Covaxin as well as Covishield. For the first time, we are going to use this Corbevax for these children who are between 12 to 14 years of age. So it is also one cause of concern because it is not tried and tested in adults. And as you all know, this vaccine, it is a protein subunit vaccine, and normally it is considered as safe and as well as very efficient in all age groups. But it cannot be the reason we can go for vaccinating children with this Corbevax first. And we do not know proper information regarding this serious adverse effects seen once the immunization program, which mainly begin, might cause vaccine hesitancy. So whenever there is no proper data regarding serious side effects or ill effects, so what will be the effects that can be seen after giving this Corbevax to children, then what happens? So if there is no proper data that mainly shows efficiency of the so and so vaccine, then we can see vaccine hesitancy. That means the people, they will not come forward to take this vaccine for their children, right? And earlier there are some concerns which are mainly raised about absence of efficiency data regarding this COVID-19 at the time of approval, okay. So because of this, that led to vaccine hesitancy. So in the same way regarding this Corbevax also, there can be the chance of developing of vaccine hesitancy in the beginning. And the fourth national sero prevalence survey that was done soon after deadly second wave, which mainly revealed that 67.6% of population who are about 10 years, they had antibodies against this virus. So already you know that serological study means here in this study we can go for randomized study. So we can randomly select the people from so and so area, and we are withdrawing the blood from those people, and in that blood we are studying for presence of antibodies. And recently this fourth national serological survey data, which mainly said that about 67.6% of people who are above especially 10 years of age, they also develop antibodies here. So whenever we want to go for vaccination with this type of new vaccines, first we need to go for evidence-based policy making, right? So this is about this topic. And now let us move on to next topic. It is regarding Russia-Ukraine conflict, ICJ, International Court of Justice, provisional measures on military operations. So here we need to know about what is this International Court of Justice, provisional measures on military operations. So this topic, it is important regarding GS paper 2 under international relations. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see what is the story so far. So far the story is, due to this ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, which mainly entered, now it is in fourth week. So it has mainly led to some serious humanitarian crisis in Europe, okay, which mainly is seen since World War II. Since World War II, due to this Russia-Ukraine conflict that is going on, so it is one of the ongoing conflict that mainly entered this fourth week, and it's one of the most severe thing that we can see in Europe. And it is also one of the serious humanitarian crisis as well. So Russia has sought to justify its special military operation as a response that alleged act of genocide of Russian-speaking people in territories of this Donetsk and as well as Luhansk. So the people who are present in this Donetsk and as well as Luhansk are Russian separatist people, and they mainly speak this Russian language, and they want to join with Russia actually. So actually Russia, which is mainly saying that yes, we went for this military operation mainly to save the people who are mainly present in this Donetsk and as well as Luhansk. So these people, they are mainly in the act of genocide. So this is the argument from Russian side. And actually Ukraine, which mainly approached this International Court of Justice on February 26. Actually this International Court of Justice, it is one of the United Nations judicial organ, right? And here Ukraine, which mainly requested this ICJ along with the other nations to hold that no acts of genocide which made it defined under this genocide convention of 1948, actually, which is a claim by Russia. So Russia claims that there is genocide which is mainly seen in this Luhansk and as well as this Donetsk area, but Ukraine says that there is nothing that we can see like act of genocide that is mainly seen in this areas which are mainly claimed by this Russia. Okay, so additionally Ukraine also requested the court to indicate certain provisional measures, and this will be helpful to direct this Russian Federation to immediately suspend this military operations in Ukraine, and they want to ensure Russia will not aggravate or extend the dispute. So if you see Russia, which mainly says that yes, act of genocide which is mainly happening against this Russian speaking people. So mainly to stop that, we are invading this Russia says that we are invading this Ukraine because of this region, mainly to stop this act of genocide in this region. And Russia, which mainly says that yes, we are doing military operation mainly to save this Russian speaking people in this Donetsk and as well as Luhansk area. So Ukraine says that there is no act of genocide that is mainly seen in these regions. So this is the argument from Ukraine. So in this context, Ukraine also requested court to indicate certain provisional measures that will direct Russian Federation to immediately suspend this military operations in Ukraine. Okay, such that it will be also helpful mainly to decrease the tensions in this Russia and Ukraine border. So on February 26, Ukraine approached this ICJ, that is International Court of Justice, to hold that no acts of genocide defined under this Genocide Convention 1948. So you need to know some facts regarding this Genocide Convention of 1948 as well. And actually this genocide which mainly claimed by Russia and which has been committed by Ukraine. Okay, so this is the thing which for which this Ukraine which mainly approached this ICJ. And if you're talking about these provisional measures, so the power to indicate these provisional measures is subjected to three main conditions. So the rights which are being asserted should be at least plausible, and the second one is there should be link between this provisional measure and as well as plausible right, and they need to be preserved by such measure, and finally there must be a real and imminent risk, okay, and or we can say like irreparable prejudice to rights which are to be claimed before the court. So whenever these things are there, then only ICJ will be going to indicate some provisional measures. So whatever the provisional measures that will be indicated by this International Court of Justice, that will be binding, and non-compliance that will lead to the breach of international legal obligation as well. So this is one important prelims fact, right? And now let us move on to next topic. It is regarding India extends $1 billion credit to Sri Lanka. So why India need to give this credit to Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka, which is in a severe economic crisis now. Okay, so because of this, Sri Lanka approached India for help, and India said that it is going to help Sri Lanka with $1 billion credit because India has foreign policy, that is neighborhood first policy. Right, so under this, India is mainly going to provide some assistance to Sri Lanka. So this article will be important regarding international relations, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that so India extended a $1 billion credit facility to Sri Lanka. So this will be very much helpful for Sri Lanka because it was worst affected country, and even we can see worst foreign exchange crisis that it is facing. So it will be helpful for enabling of food, medicine, and as well as essential items for the people in Sri Lanka. So if you're talking about some details, it mainly says that an agreement to this effect was signed between State Bank of India and as well as Government of Sri Lanka. So this credit link which mainly signed between State Bank of India and as well as Government of Sri Lanka. So Mr. Rajapaksa met our Prime Minister on Wednesday and they discussed about India's assistance regarding this Sri Lanka's extraordinary economic crisis that it is facing now. So actually we are mainly following this foreign policy of neighborhood first policy, right? So in this context, India mainly stands with Sri Lanka and US dollars 1 billion credit line which mainly signed for the supply of essential commodities to Sri Lanka. Okay, so it is one of the key element of the package of support which mainly extended by India to Sri Lanka. So if we're talking about some facts regarding this neighborhood first policy, so actually this neighborhood first policy, it is a part of Indian foreign policy and it mainly focuses on improving of trade ties with India's immediate neighbors. Okay, so it is called as neighborhood first policy in the media. So it was started well by inviting all heads of states or heads of government of South Asian countries in his inauguration of this Prime Minister first term, and later on he also held bilateral talks with all of them individually as well. So if we're talking about one important mains question for practice, in today's lecture I am going to give 2 mains questions and 2 prelims questions. So first question is, there has been an apparent shift in India's neighborhood policy from SAARC to BIMSTEC. So analyze the reasons behind this shift and advantages accruing to India. So try to write the answer and should be not more than 150 words. And next topic it is regarding IAF, that is Indian Air Force, to employ direct tactical planning for S-400 missile system. So this article we need to focus on this S-400 missile system. So this will be important regarding our GS paper 2 under defense. So now let us try to see context. So if you see context, it mainly says that while China too possesses this S-400 Triumph long-range air defense system, so currently we are mainly inducting this S-400 missile system and it is one of the potent weapon for the neighbor, and even Indian Air Force will counter it mainly based on this direct tactical planning. So we are mainly going for this direct tactical planning for this S-400 Triumph missile. So actually our neighboring, that is China, which is mainly having or possessing this S-400 Triumph long air missile defense system. Actually we are getting this from Russia. So if you see details, it mainly says that while China, it is not directly mentioned in the reply, the country with which India shares a long border, it also inducted this S-400 missile system. Actually, you know that Chinese, they are mainly sharing boundary with India, and across this LAC region, we are having dispute with China. And not only this eastern sector, western sector, and even in the central sector, we are having dispute with China. Okay, and what happened? So in the midst of the standoff in eastern Ladakh across this line of actual control, in April 2020, there were reports that People's Liberation Army, that is PLA of China, which made a deployed even S-400 system from Russia. So last December, India, which mainly began taking deliveries of this S-400 systems, and 5 regiments of which they was constructed from Russia, and it is like a $5.43 billion deal, and this deal which mainly signed in October 2018, and the first unit had been delivered, and the second defense sources confirmed that they are going to they are going to deliver this second unit that we are going to get by the next week very soon. And actually whenever we are importing this type of S-400 defense missile system from Russia, so they are having some fear regarding this CARSA, that is countering American adversaries through sanctions act. Okay, so this is about this topic, and I want to give you one question. Actually this question appeared in 2021 mains. So how is S-400 air defense system technically superior to any other systems presently available in the world? So what is the importance or features of this S-400 defense system? Okay, so please let me know your answer in the comment box. So if we're talking about this Russia-India S-400 missile system deal, so into October 2018, India signed $5 billion deal with Russia to buy 5 units of this S-400 air defense system. Okay, so in 2018 India signed a $5 billion deal, okay, $5 billion deal with Russia to buy 5 units of this S-400 air defense system, and India had moved ahead with the deal despite warning from then Trump administration that they are going to impose sanctions, that is CAATSA. So Biden administration has not yet clarified whether it will impose sanctions on India over the provisions of this CAATSA or not. So if we're talking about CAATSA, it is US law which mainly came up in year 2017. CAATSA mainly stands for Countering of American Adversaries Through Sanction Act. So actually here under this CAATSA, which mainly authorizes USA administration to impose sanctions on North Korea, Iran and as well as Russia here. And why we came with choosing of this S-400 crime system? Because it is very much versatile, it is very much accurate, and as well as multifaceted capabilities are present when we are comparing with the missile system which is mainly offered from USA. So this is just of this topic. And now let us try to see yesterday's questions. So first one is, no taxation without representation was after the effect of. Not regarding this Indian Council Act, you can eliminate this first statement. And next one is American Revolution, yes. And third one is Russian Revolution, but from not Russian Revolution. And fourth one is Indian Council Act of 1892. So correct option will be the 2 and 4. Correct option is 3. And next question is regarding one religion, one caste, one God for mankind was preached by. He is nothing but Narayan Guru. So today's questions are, the first one, it is regarding, so which are the following uprising which are mainly happen outside the Bengal. And next question is regarding non-cooperation movement. So read the statements are given below and give me the correct option for that questions. So there is no negative marking, you can give your answer, don't worry about that. So before seeing this today's newspaper PDF, let me announce a small thing here. So we in Rathod Science, we came up with this prelims test series for UPSC prelims, and even we are ready to come up with this pen drive courses for entire foundational course for 2023. So in this foundational course, we are entirely covering your GS part along with your CSAT, and this will be absolutely very useful course. And we are dealing with each and every topic in a very great detail, and each and every topic in your syllabus will be dealt here, and there is no doubt regarding a single topic it is left, right? And we are focusing on conceptual clarity and even quality of education. So because you have to follow the trends of UPSC. UPSC nowadays, it is not at all asking fact-based questions. They started asking some analysis-based questions. So to answer those questions, you need to have a conceptual clarity that we are focusing in our Rathod's IAS Academy. So even if you want to see some demo videos, please visit our website Rathod's IAS Academy. So if you are visiting for the first time into our website, it will ask for register. So you have to register with your email ID, and you have to click on the course list. There you can see wide range of courses, and there you can see the demo videos, 3 demo videos without paying any penny. So by free, okay. So for free you can watch 3 videos. After watching these 3 videos, then if you like that videos, then you can go for payment, okay. So I am also giving you one option. So if you like those videos only, then you can go for payment, right? So details of this courses are given in our website. So please visit our website Rathod's IAS Academy. And if you want to get the PDF of today's newspaper analysis, so try to join the Telegram channel. The link is given in description box. And if you want to talk to me regarding these courses, you can call to this number 8074765513. Okay. And now let us have a look over today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our Hindu newspaper. Here date is March 18, 2022, and it is Delhi edition. So first topic here we can see is COVID-19 cases peak in many Asian nations. So this is the map of Asia. We have India here, we have China here we have Mongolia, here we have Korea, South Korea, here we have North Korea, and here we have South Korea, and here we have some Southeast Asian countries here. Here we have Vietnam, okay. Here we have, this is Myanmar, Laos, okay. Laos is there, Vietnam, okay. And here we have seen Thailand, so the Indonesia part, okay. So this is the part of our South Asia. So in these Asian countries, especially some Asian countries, for example, per se here you can see North Korea, here you can see Bhutan, Here you can see Vietnam, Laos and Thailand, Malaysia. So in these nations there is rising of cases that mainly seen here. So number of COVID-19 cases reached a peak across many Asian countries in this week. Okay. South Korea, which mainly recorded 3.9 lakh cases, that is average daily cases, and Vietnam also 2.5 lakh. Malaysia it is 30,000. Thailand is 23,000 cases. Singapore and Japan, they also recorded their pandemic peak in February. And China, in cases in this China, they are also very much increasing day by day. So because of this, whenever you're going out, please wear mask, please sanitize your hands and repeatedly wash your hands. Okay, so be care. Okay, we can expect next wave of COVID-19. So if next wave is coming, means again the exam will be postponed and even the coaching, offline coaching will be stopped. So please take some care. Okay. And the next article, it is regarding Indian firms buy more oil from Russia, energy ties may deepen. Okay, in yesterday's lecture we studied about, they are talking about yuan for this payment for this oil. So India, which is mainly expected to deepen energy cooperation with Russia in several major Western economies, and we are going to get some good amount of crude oil from this Russia. Okay, and recently we got some official confirmation in this regard against the backdrop of reports that mainly after this Indian Oil Corporation, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, that is HPCL, which mainly brought 2 million barrels of this Russian crude oil as Indian energy majors. And actually you know that Russia, which mainly offered even discount, so that will be helpful mainly to decrease this oil prices. And the next topic, it is about Sri Lanka. I discussed that. And if you move further, leave the city page, and if you come to the states page, page number 3, here you can see the privilege motion. So privilege motion against Bengal LOP accepted. So here please open your Lakshmikant polity and open your parliament chapter. There you can see this privilege motion. So let me know what is this privilege motion in the comment box, because PRELIMS is very near. I hope you completed already polity. So let me know what is this privilege motion in the comment box, right? And if you move further in editorial, in the states page, page number 5, so here you can see K-Rail police use force to remove agitators. So actually regarding the silver line project in Kerala, so there are protests which are mainly happening. So in this protest, so police people, they are mainly using some force. So here it is the time to revise again what is the silver line project. So already we discussed this topic number of times in our discussion. And next topic is like India's defense requirement has increased, says by our Rajnath Singh. So actually because of changing of economic, political, strategic equations, so here across the world also we can see some issues which are mainly going on. So because of this, here we need to go for increasing, and as well as we need to go for constant modernization of our country's armed forces. It is a need of our, so we need to focus on especially increasing of domestic industry or domestic development of this defense products. So this is the thing which mainly said by our defense minister in inaugurating a 7-storied flight control system integration facility at this ADE Aeronautical Development Establishment. Okay, so you need to focus on especially Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense. And if you move further, this is our editorial page, so you can read this article. This is regarding railways. So here it is mainly talking about what are the dilemmas in railways and what are the challenges that we are facing, and finally it is also giving some way forward regarding privatization. And I discussed about the sanctions and as well as vaccination. And next, if you come to this page, you can see which items drove up inflation in the February 2022. So actually you know that here in this month of February, retail inflation, which is very much high, it is about 6.07%, and even WPI also remained double digits in this 11th consecutive months. So there is increasing of price of certain vegetables, diesel price increase, petrol price increase, crude oil price increase, even chemicals price, especially caustic soda and as well as ammonia price, which mainly increased. And there is increase in the price of raw silk, cotton, rose flowers, and there is also surge in the retail inflation because of increase of the cost of certain vegetables, mustard oil, vanaspati, chicken, telephone charges, petrol, kerosene, LPG. So these are some important prices that cost which had increased. So because of this, that led to increasing of inflation in the market. right? And if you see this text and context, I discussed about this Russia-Ukraine conflict regarding this ICJ provisional measures. And next topic is regarding one more age group to get vaccines. So it is mainly talking about Corbevax. Okay, Corbevax, it is a protein-based vaccine. Actually, it is mainly manufactured by Biological E Limited, and it mainly approved for administering for 12 to 14 years of children. And the details of this Corbevax and even efficiency studies have not been made public yet, and it is also not scrutinized by this NTAGA as we discussed, right? And it is one of the cause of concern here. So the ongoing surge of the cases in this China, South Korea, etc., which mainly shows us that pandemic is far from over, and because of that we need to go for increasing of vaccination pace. So for this vaccinating of this 12 to 14 years of children, it is a very good step actually. So before going for vaccination, we need to go for proper studies of this Corbevax efficiency, side effects, etc. Okay, and if you move further, you will come to this news page. So in this news page, the CRPF allotted more land in this Kashmir Valley. Okay, so this CRPF, that is Central Reserve Police Forces, they have allotted a land of 10 more locations in Kashmir Valley. So this is the thing which mainly said, and you need to focus on what is the CRPF and different types of police forces which mainly comes under the CRPF. Let me know in comment box. And next article, it is regarding S400 system. I already discussed with you, right? And if you move forward, so you can see one more article, that is border trade must expand. So this is the thing which mainly said by Amit Shah. Amit Shah, he is a Union Home Minister. So Union Home Minister said that India needed to expand trade with the neighboring countries in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, here India need to expand the trade with our neighboring countries. So as we all know that India, it is one of the most important and top manufacturing countries, and we are having strong infrastructure across the border. So this will be helpful mainly for the migration of this border population, and even that will be helpful for even exports, to increase our exports. Okay, so actually what happened in the last 10 years, India, which is one of the most top manufacturing country, but if you are talking about products exported, they are very less. So because of this, we need to focus on improving of our border trade. And recently India sent about some tons of wheat to Afghanistan. Okay, so in this way we need to go for increasing of trade, and we need to go for revival of our border trade routes as well. And next topic, it is 19 Indian firms to make Pfizer oral antiviral drug. So it is mainly talking about antiviral drug. So 19 drug makers in India, they mainly signed sub-license agreement with United Nations backed medicine patent pool, and they said that they are going to manufacture oral COVID-19 antiviral drug, and the name here is Nirmatrelvir. Okay, Nirmatrelvir, it is one of the drug which is mainly used in combination with ritonavir. So ritonavir and Nirmatrelvir. So this is a drug which Indian firms are going to manufacture now. Okay, so actually this Nirmatrelvir, it is one of the new product which mainly requires substantial manufacturing capabilities to produce here. Okay, and here it is very much effective regarding this virus. And if you move forward, you can see South Korea registered over 6 lakh of COVID-19 cases in a day. Okay, so what happened, there is increasing of cases in the nearby countries. So because of this, we need to be very cautious, and we need to wear masks, and we need to follow again COVID-19 protocol. And next topic is regarding at least 4 dead after Japan's earthquake. So in yesterday's lecture, we studied about tsunami warning regarding this earthquake that happened in this East Japan side. So because of this earthquake, about 4 people, they were reported to dead, and more than 100 they were injured in Japan on Thursday after a powerful overnight earthquake that mainly held here. So the magnitude here is 7.4 magnitude earthquake, which mainly happened at the coast of Fukushima. Okay, Fukushima, it is a nuclear power plant. And next, if you move on to business page, you can see many articles here. So global developments pose risks to economy. So RBI official says, so India's macroeconomic fundamentals remain strong, but because of this global development risk that mainly happening, so because of this, that will be having some negative impact on Indian economy. So this is the thing which mainly said by RBI officials. And apart from that, even Moody's, it is one of the credit rating agency which mainly scales down outlook for India. So here Moody's investigate our services which downgraded India's growth forecast for the calendar year 2022. From earlier it said that it is 9.5% and now it downgraded to 9.1%. And in 2023, the hope here it is like 5.4% of growth. Okay, so this is one important thing that you have to remember. So why? Because why there is downgrading? So there is increasing of inflation in the market, right? There is increasing of this commodity prices, and even we can face supply chain shortages and supply chain disruptions and business disruption. Okay, and even geopolitical strife. So because of all these reasons, so there might be some impact on economy. So because of this, Moody's which made it downgraded rating of India. And next topic it is regarding Ukraine war could cut 1% of global growth. It is a thing which mainly said by this OECD. So OECD said that because of this Russia-Ukraine crisis, it would have some impact on this global growth, and this global growth which is going to be decreased by 1% due to this Russia-Ukraine crisis. So this is the thing which mainly said in this article. So these are some important articles that appear in today's Hindu newspaper. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for the notifications. And if you truly like this video, so please like the video. If you don't like, please hit this dislike button. Okay, thank you so much.